You do for others, God will do for you. You gonna break that down anymore? Or you through with that?
Just let that sit.
You just gonna let that sit? Afraid you're gonna talk yourself out of your answer again?
Marinate. Go ahead.
For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reapeth. That's an immutable law of God, all right?
It is.
It is an immutable law of God. Whatever you sow, you're gonna reap.
What's immutable mean? What's
What's immutable?
immutable mean, Ethan?
I have no idea. They don't teach us much on that.
Tiffany, we need to talk. Good God, the only question I ask him and he blows it. Immutable.
Can't change it, can't retract it.
Can't be changed.
Can't get around it.
Can't get around it.
Yeah.
Can't go under it. Right? What else? Immutable.
Can't shut it up.
You cannot shut it up. It's
Immutable.
not mute.
Right?
It's set.
It's set. Set where?
In stone.
Set in whatever you.
Set in the foundation of the earth and the heaven. The
Amen.
truth. Because the truth called it forth. Let there be light. Light started surveying. Jesus said, I'm the light of the world. So he's surveying everything, the truth. Right?
Don't get too far into that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Am I running through your notes?
You're fixing to.
Oh, I'm fixing to.
You're
All
just
right, all
on
right.
the verge there with.
All right. You see what I'm saying? Okay.
Okay. So immutable law. You can't deceive God with the things that you allow yourself to be deceived by, or the things that you try to deceive other people with. God's not going to be deceived by them. All right. Your doctrines, dogmas, traditions, your
Lord
belief
Jesus.
systems,
Oh, God.
the way you think about it, the way you think it should
Yeah,
be. You
that's
know,
good.
none of that's going to deceive God.
Uh.
None of it.
Think about your children coming to you saying, it's not my fault.
Yeah.
Right? That's the way some of us pray without even knowing. It's not my fault, Dad.
My teacher doesn't like me. That's
Yeah.
why I'm failing.
Yeah.
I've heard that one before.
Doesn't he know I need this?
Hmm.
Yeah.
So remember this law the next time you're reaping something that's not too pleasant, because a lot of times we sow the wrong seed with the wrong motives and the wrong desires, and then we expect the right harvest.
Mm.
All right, you're sowing with either the wrong seed or the wrong motives or the wrong desires. You can expect the wrong harvest. It kind of takes me back to the Psalm 127, about the sitting up late eating the bread of sorrows, and then our Father would give us this day our daily bread. You're going to reap what you've sown, and it's up to you whether you're going to be eating the bread of sorrows or you're going to be eating the bread of life. It depends on what you've sown for. What have you sown for? What are you eating today that you had sown for in the past? Because you're going to reap it. You're going to suffer the consequences of it one day. It's going to come to pass.
God can forgive you your sins, but there's still consequences of what you do to
Right.
your own body or to other people. You still-
How is it possible for other people to forgive you if you've been abusing them for a long time? You now say, I'm a Christian. Like that's supposed to wave the magic wand. How is it that they can really forgive you? Somebody tell me that.
They have to see the change in you.
They look at your actions. They have to see the change in you. Do you realize what your actions say about you? Well, you still talk the same old way. You still act the same old way. And you still do the same old things. But now you're telling me you've changed? Yeah. Yeah.
I see it.
Sure you have. Yeah. Daffodils aren't yellow either. They're red.
Sorry.
No, they're not. Anything that God has given is hinged and totally depends upon your decisions that you make as you exercise your free will. Right? It's the decisions you make as you exercise your free will that tells God whether or not you honor Him or whether you don't honor Him. Huh? If you do things God's way, even though you don't agree with it, He'll still bless you. Because the Word is immutable. Wow. I'm constantly struggling with people that are telling me, well, I had a better idea. Really? 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 And what is that better idea? I don't know. It's still too soon. Give me 6 months. What? You want to forfeit 6 months of blessing to prove to me that you're right? Who?
The truth of God is immutable, so whatever I think, I need to lay that aside and go back to trust His
Amen.
word.
Well, the first thing that pops up in me is there's a way that seemeth right unto a man. That's the first word that pops into my mind.
That's right.
Oh, but you're telling me for you, just for you, you have a special dispensation of understanding.
It's kind of interesting in the Our Father, you know, it talks about give us this day our daily bread, and then what comes right after that?
Forgive us our debts.
Right after that, forgiveness. So, I mean, you know, it sounds to me like you may be eating some bread of sorrows sometimes, so you may need some forgiveness.
Suppose one day I walked in the door after being married 40-some years, 45 years, and she said to me, I've got something very serious I need to talk to you about. And I said, all right, I knew it was serious. And she sat me down in the chair there, and she sat over there where Joanne is, and she looked at me, and she says, you know, I'm not sure or not whether you really love me. Do you really love me? Now, 10 million things have gone through my mind. What's going through my mind, John?
Do I really love her?
That's first thought. Yeah, do I really love her? Yeah, that's first thought. But I've kind of settled down. I wouldn't be around for 45 years. I'd have said goodbye a long time ago. The first thought that comes through my mind is, oh my God, what have I done or sowed into her life that she should ask me that question?
Amen.
Now, did you ever stop to think about when you go to the Lord and you don't believe something that He wrote down in His book, what you're saying? Don't you love me? So it's about understanding. My wife doesn't doubt the fact that I love. Why don't you doubt the fact that I love you? Just give me a couple reasons.
Just show it every day,
What else?
all day long.
All day long. Has there ever been a day we've been married I didn't tell you I loved you? Never. No.
I'll remind you if you don't.
Yeah. That's the truth. Yeah. See? That's important. Does she need to hear that? Yeah, she needs to hear that. That should never be a foregone conclusion. Well, I show her by my actions. I do this, I do that. No, she needs to hear. Well, God needs to hear certain things from you every single day of your life.
Amen.
I love you, Lord. I need you in my life, Lord. Huh? They're important. Do not take your relationships for granted. Right, Ethan? The greatest appreciation for a relationship is loss. When you don't have it anymore,
That's right.
woo! You're getting out the book of the Song of Solomon. Have you seen my lover? Do you know where he pitches his tent? Do you know where he feeds his sheep? I'm trying to find him and I can't find him. Come on. When my wife dies, I'll never have regrets. I'll never ever say to myself, I wish I could have said, because I say it every day. And I mean it. Yeah. Never. Yeah. I'll just simply look at her and say, I'll see you there in a little while. I know who will be the first one to greet me at the gate. That's important. That's the only place she got rest when her grandmother died. Her grandmother and her were closer than mother and daughter, but she has the peace and assurance in her heart to know one of the first people she's going to see at the gate is going to be her grandmother and her grandfather. Her grandfather is absolutely the finest man I've ever met in my lifetime. He was a man. I didn't say a man of God. He was a man. He was that too, but he was a man. Best man I've ever met. So what are you saying to the people you love every day? Are you questioning them? Or are you sowing into their lives? I sow love in my wife's life every single day. How do I do it? By my words and my actions. Huh? By my words and my actions. That's critical. That's a very important part of my life.
Amen.
Huh? I hope and pray you're doing the same thing. Yeah. She even said to me, I'll never forget this, 20-some years, 25 years, 30 years ago, I guess it was more than that, 30-some years ago, she said to me, sat me down, we had one of those meetings, and she said this to me, look, the day that you don't want to live with me, the day that you don't want to love me, you just say so. We don't have to fight. We don't have to get nasty. You just say so, and I'll pack my bags and leave. I don't want you living your life miserable. What greater act of love is there than that? Did you not tell me that? Yeah. We have a very difficult time with divorce. Her and I. Because it's a stranger to us. That doesn't mean that I don't think that people should get divorced. Absolutely. I'm not saying that. But we have a problem with it because it's never entered into our thought processes, you see? It's not part of our speech. It's not part of our actions. It's not part of our whatever. I always like to watch Charlie and Joanne when they leave. Do you ever wonder why I go outside all the time when I say goodbye to people?
So you can watch Charlie open the door for
That's
Joanne.
right. There you go.
Amen.
That's exactly where I was
Amen.
going. See, he knew what I was about to say. Why? I love you, sweetheart. Let me get the door. How many years we've been married? 45. Most of the time I get the door. If it's bad weather, I'm always getting the door. I don't have to do that. There's nothing wrong with her legs. They're not made of marshmallow. You know? But it's just the idea. No, let me get that for you. She won't even go down the stairs without holding his hand. I love to watch that. Because in my heart, I say to myself, now there's a man of God.
Amen.
Man of God. There's a man of God. Just some little things like that. And Brother John, yeah. Because your actions tell me volumes about you. Don't be deceived. Whatever a man sows, that's what he's going to reap.